Hey guys, welcome to Farm Simulator 19 on Meadow Farm. So, what are we doing today? Just done my usual run around like a headless chicken figuring that out. So we've got a bit of limestone to do, which we will jump into. After that, I think we will be good to call it a day in the game. So what I probably would do is blip forward time. Turn this down on my headset, good lord, it's loud. Turn up the time to like maybe 10 times, so we'll go through the day-night cycle. Yeah, that's the field I wanted to go to. Wait, brakes. No, fence post. That'll do. Yeah, turn up the time basically so we can progress a little quicker. Alright, we'll drop this down. We'll leave the GPS on. I don't know why no course loaded. I'm pretty sure I turned that off. Speaking of which, I haven't updated course play in a while. I'm not sure when the last time it updated was. I'll have to have a look. I usually look quite often, but to be quite honest, of late, I've not really been looking for that type of stuff at all. Got a nice little pocket there. I really feel with this field design, it would have been way easier. Now I forget what crop's in this actually. Let's jump up quick. That's just grass. In that case, I don't care about being precise. With this field layout, probably because it was grass, it didn't matter. I feel it would have been better just to, well, level that out and have that as shrub. I think that's probably what would end up being done IRL too. Especially a little nook like that. Not so much where the gate is, obviously, but the rest, yeah. Let's spin that around. So Monday, obviously, you guys can see the time up in the top right-hand corner. If you guys are ever wondering when I am recording this. A few mods have been released by the looks of things. I don't know if that was all for the day, but it definitely seems like there's been some released. And I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like the game's getting lower FPS than usual. It doesn't seem like it's running smoothly. I'll look at that in a second. I'll pull up the FPS. I'm probably going to want to close it again. No reason why it should be running rough, but it really does feel like it is. F2. Oh, it's not. Anything above 30, I don't care, because I record at 30 FPS. Farm Sim and this computer is not capable of a solid 60 FPS, rock solid, to guarantee a clean recording at 60. So that FPS there actually doesn't bother me. Just seemed a little weird. Maybe it's just me. Which it could be, because I've been playing a lot of American Truck Sim, as you guys are probably bored of hearing about. Actually, I never sped up time. And that game, for me, plays at on Ultra at a really decent frame rate. Anywhere from 75, which is the peak of this screen, to the 60s mark. So it's a really smooth and clean gameplay experience. Farm Sim, I don't know, on this system it's just never been that great. I'm not saying it's not optimized, it's a hell of a lot more optimized than it ever used to be, but on this system it isn't. Which is why I know for a fact, if it wasn't for everything that is going on with me personally, that you guys do semi-know about, within the next year I'd need to build a new computer if I was going to carry on doing YouTube full-time sort of thing, and I just couldn't afford it. The state of the channel's getting worse and worse, and I don't know what to fix it. I would say I don't care. In the grand scheme of things I don't, but at the same time I do, because it is very disheartening to see sub numbers disappear like they are and just no rhyme or reason for it. It's weird. I really don't get it. Looking at the algorithms, like I know I posted up on the community tab not that long ago, and I'm gaining, but it's almost like they're automatically being unsubscribed, and I can't help but feel that's possibly a bug that's affecting the channel. Because you're seeing people subscribe in the algorithms, and then, or the analytics, and then just dropping off. No rhyme or reason for it. I don't know. Disheartening. Irritating. But hey. Alright, we'll unload this thing. And I'm surprised how well the video did with this. It did. No course available. Why is it all of it coming up like that? Maybe you do need to update courseplay sooner than later. I was very surprised the way it did. I honestly thought it wouldn't do that good because of it literally just this. Maybe people just skip through it. I don't know. I never looked into it in depth as far as that goes. But it was a fun video recording that. Granted, it was just a quick and dirty video as far as that goes. I think it's this. Yes. But it was a fun video. I really do like this little thing. It's fun. And I know it's going to do well as far as around the farm. It's going to be very useful. Of course, when the John Deere one comes out, will I likely swap out to that? Probably. We'll see what that's all about. Maybe we'll have both become an antique. Antique skid steer, not a bobcat. Skid steer collector. It's funny how you call them bobcats when... No, it's not. That's just the brand bobcat. The actual correct terminology is skid steer. I think Bobcat was one of the first major brands to really go out there with it. Maybe it was the brand that came up with them. I don't know who actually came up with skid steer. In the first place. Alright, where shall we shove this trailer? What's stopping me going forward? Oh, has the trailer done that weird lock-in thing? Whose trailer used to do that? It was CD's trailer used to do that. Where if you tried to drive forward, it's like the collisions wouldn't go from the ramps. With either the ramps or the supporting legs. And I got a feeling this has just done it. No, I don't have TARDIS in here, crap. Okay. In that case, we're just going to have to reset this, unfortunately. I've noticed the saving in the game taking longer too. That one. Reset. Yes. And that's what you have to do when it screws up like that. Well, I can stay out in the field now then. And back to some actual farming. So like I say, fast forwarded time. We may be able to go spray the fields now, I don't know. These are just grass, which I've not worked yet, so I'm not really worried about those. This is Field 24's grass, 20's crop. $17, I don't think we actually put any fertilizer down. So we could go through there. 24 and 20 can have some more fertilizer thrown in, so we'll stop time there. Me and Simulate were talking yesterday, and we're both on the same page about the shadows and how dark this map is, so I think... I know I keep on saying every time I'm on this map I've got stuff to do with it. Every time I'm on Oakfield I say I've got stuff to do with the truck. I just don't do it. But at some point I know he's going to look into it and we'll go from there, I guess. Let him be the guinea pig. It's usually me with stuff like that. But it probably still will end up being me. I'm pretty sure it's literally just a drag and drop file. XML from Oakfield. That's his latest one, and put it in. As much as I like the dark shadows and how contrasty it is, for gameplay and recording it's crap, but for thumbnails it's freaking phenomenal. It really is. I raise it up. Shut the gate. Gate swinging closed. And we're spraying. Pull up the map. Yep. See in blue. I really wish, and I'm surprised that they never did do this, in the mini-map there wasn't a way to switch that on. There was a mod that did it, going way back. I think it may have been out in 17, I'm not sure. Definitely 15. And it was useful. It really was, but it had its issues. It seemed like it broke a lot more stuff than it did work, which is a shame. Now we'll go back into this corner. Our spray rate we can probably turn up. Variable spray rate's pretty neat. You're definitely not rinsing through fertilizer so much now. We'll probably definitely get put up. What are we at? So they put it up to 400. I don't know what a standard rate would be IRL, but I don't know. It's a game after all. Yes, I'd love this game to be more realistic, but at the same time, if it's more realistic, and if it got to a point where it was too realistic, it would get boring very quickly for people. Whether you want it realistic or not, it will get boring very quickly, because it will slow the game progress down way too much. There's a balance. Do they have the balance right now? Honestly, I don't feel they do. The game, it feels, is really designed to be played where you have got your time progression up at a amount, whatever that amount is. If you play it real time, the big thing for me right now is once you've done everything you need to in the fields, you move on to your animals. It doesn't take long to do that. Once you've done that, you sat twiddling your thumbs. Sure, you can go do forestry, but with how frustrating forestry is, how many of us really want to be doing forestry? I don't mind doing it on a smaller scale, but I say small scale, I mean like a little log trailer for a tractor and a chainsaw. Or maybe even the skid steers there. Using that, which I may end up doing. Granted, if I do that, we'll need to go and put some ROPS on that thing, and a murder in the driver. It's an annoying thing right now, which is where I miss the straw add-on, because you could have set that up, and in that downtime you could have been running that plant with all the straw bales you had. It is an interesting one. I hope with what FarmSim have learnt this version of the game, and I'll stick to what I say, the drop-off of people playing it and interested in it, because I do still believe that is very high. Maybe they do take a gap here and really develop the next one hard, and then push more DLC out than they were planning for 19. It's the only way I can see them really coming back from this. The game has definitely changed massively, this version. For the good, and to some degrees. The game, as far as usually each year how they progress, this is the biggest improvement they have ever made. Whether you like it or not, it is. Graphically, physics, the game engine under the hood, the way it's, yeah, more optimized. Yes, it is, trust me. If you've got a decent computer, it's more optimized than it. It's not a stupidly good computer you need, just a decent one that's capable of playing modern games. It is way more optimized than it used to be. The lighting engine and all of that stuff, does that need tweaking to be more tasteful? Sure. Without a shadow of a doubt. Yes, it does. But at the same time, with all these big changes, they needed to learn that. That's why, and Rainbow Dave has been saying this quite a lot, and I actually completely agree with him on this one, they should have possibly held this game at FS19 back maybe another year, at least another 6 months. But they couldn't, because they had all those live streams set up, they had everything set up, they were on the nail of all of that. And they wanted their money. People stopped playing 17. That's what I feel hurt them in the long run there, is maybe those live streams and them having to dedicate the time when they really shouldn't. The fact that they were still heavily developing the game up until the last day tells you a lot. No, sure, every game developer should be doing that. No game is, unfortunately, 100% ready to go on release date anymore. It's a standard that people just have accepted over these last few years, when gaming has moved away from it used to 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, where you bought a game on a disc, and if you had internet you could patch it. But that game on that disc was typically good to go. It didn't have major issues. Nowadays they quite happily release games knowing they've got major issues, and then they'll just patch it because of the download era. That's what really ruined the games as far as that goes. But I digress. It will be interesting to see what happens with the whole farm sim. It's definitely a bleak outlook. I hope it's not. But I think even those guys, surely they see the dynamic of the game, and the people playing it's changed massively. And that FSL league, yeah, I don't think that's going to help any. I really don't. And that's... I was never exactly enthralled by it when I first saw it. It's not something I'm into, competitive gaming. I don't like it one bit. I don't see it helping the game. I certainly don't see it improving the game. Whee! Where am I going? It's all about, for me personally, from the way I feel, and this is all personal opinion, the game, what keeps the game alive for 2 years after, let's say, the initial 12 to 6 months, are the people that actually like farming, that are actually into this IRL, not the people that pick it up for, oh, it's a farming game, let's see how derpy it is, sort of thing. The first 3 months you see the YouTubers that never touched this game play it. And then it started to get a name for it, and that started to drop off. But you still see that, right? That's the people that actually are into agriculture in general, that keep the game alive for the 2 years, that buy the DLCs, that do all of that stuff. Not your average sort of Joe Blow down the road. You turn those guys off of the game, then... I don't know. It's those that I feel that are missing now from the game. Now, over the winter months, will that be better? Maybe. It's summertime. Those people that I've just talked about, most of them are on farms. So they're busy. There's a lot of people doing exams right now. And that's the same thing that I always say about the modders. Every year we're going to lose people that get interested because their life moves away from gaming. Their life takes them into the world of working and all of that good stuff. Or maybe they're working full-time on the farm and just haven't got time. I see a lot of that in my streams. People stop by and say, sorry, I've not been around for a while. I've been busy working. Cool, you're making money. Kudos to you. I don't give a crap. Definitely food for thought. Definitely food for thought. 20 minutes of me somewhat rambling on natural, sensible topic for a change. Go figure. And we're done. It'd be interesting to know your guys' opinions in the comments section on this one, because I do read them. Made a reply, but I do read them. Need to get better at replying, that's for sure. It's a topic that I've talked about in the past. I'm just hoping after the mod competition we see a brighter side of stuff, because some people come back and they're just holding out as far as mods go for the competition, and that brings people back into the game. From what I've been hearing from the community that goes and watches my streams predominantly, a lot of people are waiting for seasons. A lot of people. There's some people picking the game back up from when they first had it, when they first released, because it had it left a sour taste in their mouth because of how broke it was at the beginning. Again, the game shouldn't have released. Straight up shouldn't have released. Should have patched. Well, not patched, but been delayed at least a few months to 6 months at the time. Now granted, what that have done for FS17, I don't know, because at that point, for the most part, people were done playing it. I was. Whoa, that was some weird physics. I was done playing it, I was bored of the game. And I have been to a point bored of playing the game already for 19. I'm still enjoying it, but not the same as I was this time playing 17. It's weird. Maybe because stuff's changing with me personally going on in my life, and what is going on with the physics? Whereas just the YouTube's more of a kind of thing now than having to make money, although I don't have a job right now, so it still should be top priority, and it is. Until I get a job. Could be another reason why a lot of people are unsubscribing, because it's like, yeah, he's gonna quit. Well, I don't plan on quitting. It's not what I want to do. I've seen several people do that in the past. Build up community and quit cold turkey. I ain't about that. I still want to push out content. I don't know what content it will be, but it will be some sort of content when I can. Kind of like what Simulation for the Nation does. He tries and does 3 videos a week. That's what I want to do. How much farm sim will that be? I don't know. Alrighty, so we have fertilized, we have limed, we have done all of the above. I think we may be able to get into the field after we do a bit more fast timing. Which, controller. Bit more. And let's go find the house. Just look at the shadows and the lighting at this time of day. This map looks stunning. Oh, is that the house over here? Are you my house? I'm not even joking. I actually don't know where the house is because I never drive from it. Or is it here? That's it. It looks stunning, but at times it's too dark. It's exactly like I said. Do you have to go into the bedroom, or can you do it from in here? You can do it from in here. Beautiful. 13 hours. Good sleep. And am I out of coffee? Yes, I'm out of my morning coffee. I'll buy a gas implant, jeez. Income, there you go. 61,200 we got from that, and property maintenance, probably because of the biogas plant. But the money from the biogas is a side thing. I'm not interested in the money. What is that over there? The W. Oh, wooded area. Huh. Okay, so we do have some small-scale forestry. We could do some small-scale forestry on that. Looks terrible. In here. Alrighty. Noted. Alright, so in theory, our crop at least will be ready to go. That's our grass. Yep. And warm this bad boy up. Actually, this will be the first harvest with that. Jump into this. Now, you may be saying, why are you in the skid steer? Well, we don't have far to go. The skid steer has a very nice hitch on the back, and it is very maneuverable. Case in point. AKA, gives me an excuse to drive it. Instead of using the pickup. Which I very rarely use, because I don't really care for this thing at all. The stock and game pickups I never have cared for. I get why they're not licensed. It is much more difficult to get a manufacturer's licensing because they have exclusive deals with all sorts of whacked out games. I may actually have to use the pickup. What field shall we go for? Field probably 20. I think today, it'll be a Monday as well, I'm going to try streaming Oakfield and see how it does. It's a map that I need to actually stream to get some crap done on it. Hence why it's going to be the main map this... Are we stuck? Yeah, we're stuck. Yeah, I'll just use the pickup. We'll give it a run up and try it again. Oh, that header better not come off. Yeah, we'll use the pickup. I don't want the header coming off. That's the worst. That's when the headers come off. Oh, do I have a tractor kicking around? I do, but this will do. I wanted this one because it's, well, small. Probably actually works out to be a similar wheelbase to the Ford. Yeah, that did move quite a bit. I don't get how the locking stuff works. Like, that should have just had that locked. No questions about it. It's weird, I don't get it. No, I'm stuck on all of that stuff now. I was about to say, there's no way the collisions are that funky on the damn skid steer. Good lord. Well, they are actually extremely wide considering I just hit that. Granted, this is a mod, obviously, but something that the game does need to work on is collisions. And certain stuff. So much wider than they need to be at times. Especially, I'm talking stock stuff. Modded equipment, you just can't say anything about that because that's down to the author. But it could be game mechanic issues there. Probably the case. Now the bonus of us having road crops on here, I just realised, is we can just drive straight on in and we shouldn't damage anything until the trailer hits. And then it damages everything, which... I don't know. IRL, I don't think it would, really. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Now, I've had a couple of people ask about the bison. Oh, you've still got the bison. You've got the class. Well, I like a bit of old school once in a while. We may even use that to harvest our other field. I don't know why, but I really feel like the FPS is just falling away on the map. It's not, but it really does feel like it is. Whee! Oh, was I? I'm so used to the machinery switching themselves off. I don't think there's any mods out there to stop that yet. I think we've got canola on both fields. I really cannot remember. Really can't remember. So we'll probably do the headland if that, and that's why we'll call it for the day. I haven't had anything to eat yet, and it's 12:15 and I'm getting really hungry. Gonna make myself something to eat. And then, after that, we can set up for the stream. Can't remember what we were doing on Oakfield. Oh, well, I know what we're doing. Harvesting still. It's one of the reasons why I want to stream is to get us out of that one massive field. Doing a couple of videos a week, 30 minutes or less, which I have been of late, doesn't get you out of a field that takes over an hour to harvest. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'll probably take the thumbnail around that top section because of the shadows here. Be definitely interested to see your guys' opinions on what I was saying earlier. If I get many people reply back to them. Sometimes I go on these good talks. I wouldn't say it was ranting, it's just sharing my opinions with the way I'm seeing stuff. And whoa, there's some FPS drops right there, 30 FPS. I've noticed that a lot actually. Inside the cab, the FPS tanks, where outside it actually is better. I don't know why that would be, because it should be rendering less inside than it does outside. I don't get it. Maybe it's time for me to nuke the shader cache. Actually, right there would probably be a good thumbnail. You got the clouds in the back. I love the cloud system in this game. It's really cool. The old volumetric clouds, I believe they call it. Boom. Just a simple screenshot. At least, like I say, at least do one headland pass. And that's 30 odd minutes, 34 minutes. And there we go. That's where I will call it. So, I will bid you guys farewell. Tomorrow, we'll see how Oakfield did as far as me streaming it today. So tonight, I don't know what I'll be on. Possibly, I've got my gut instinct, and I'm going to say probably going to end up being on here. But we will have to wait and see. If we are on here, I don't know how much harvesting we'll do. Maybe we'll look towards getting the animals more than anything than actually harvesting and getting them set up, which will be cows to begin with, and probably chickens. And the train, you guys may or may not have just heard that. Anyway, until next time, hope you guys have enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one. Later.